Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. What am I riding today? Hey, it's the Magicycle Deer 26-inch step over model. There, let me angle down a little bit here. Yeah, check that one out. Yeah, it's a green bike. It has the same color as the Wired Cruiser. Yeah, I named this one Neon Green. Yep, I named the model color Neon Green for Magicycle. They gave it another name. I changed the name for them. It made more sense from what I named it. Anyway, I haven't taken this bike out in a long time. Yeah, it's a step-over model. Most of my bikes nowadays are step-through designs, as you might know. And so I've had this bike available for sale maybe about 3 times. Nobody took it. Nobody took it. Well, maybe they wanted to take it and I took it off the market. Then I put it back on, then I take it off the market. Then I put it back on, then I take it off the market. Why did I keep doing that? I kept having regrets putting it up for sale. I kept thinking, yeah, I shouldn't really sell that. I should really keep that. Then take it off the market. Then I kept thinking, I gotta make some space, man. I don't have any room. Put it back on the market, take it back off the market. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang on to this one. I keep thinking about it and I keep getting that regret. You know, I was just mentioning to a former bandmate of mine way back in college days. I said, you know, I had this Gibson Les Paul Deluxe guitar. I ended up trading it in to get an acoustic guitar that I needed for church. I always regretted that trade. Yeah, I traded it to a music dealer, so of course, obviously you don't get much money because they got to resell it and make money on it. And I always regretted that, but I didn't have the funds to do it, so I did it. Yeah, you can't do stuff like that. Otherwise, it just affects you. So I'm going to turn here. I'm going to let this person know I'm turning so they don't run me over. There we go. So anyway, I think the same thing's going to happen with this one. I kind of like this bike. Now, I know that there's a 2.0 version of this bike out. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. And the reason is because the only real difference between the two versions is the 2.0 version has the cadence sensor and torque sensor. This one is only a cadence sensor. And I'm okay with that. I ride... A lot of times I ride with cadence sensors, my preferred way of riding. So I kept thinking, do I really need to get rid of this one? Yeah, I'm thinking, no, I really don't. I like it. Why should I get rid of it? Let me tell you this. If you're interested in this particular version, step over version, okay, I'm talking about step over version with fenders, with a rear rack. They have a version with and without. Without used to cost less. Now they have this version for the same price as that, $16.99. They didn't raise the price. You know, Magicycle had threatened that they were going to raise the prices. They didn't raise the price. It's still $16.99 for the exact same one that I have. Okay, no front basket on that, of course. I have that as an extra on here. No mirror, right? No cell phone mount. All that stuff, you know, no different saddle, you know, it's just the Magicycle saddle. Basically, this bike without all the extra accessories, right? But you do get the rear rack and you do get the fenders, front and rear fenders. $16.99. Now take a look at what's available on the market today with all the things that people have been talking about with the tariffs and everything like that. I think this is a steal of a bike right now. I'm not kidding. At $16.99, as long as they don't change it, you know, before you see this video or anything. How could you beat that? Why is it so low? Well, first off, a lot of people are buying step-through designs now. They're not buying step-over designs as much. This bike requires you to have a minimum 31-inch inseam, minimum. Anything less than 31 inches, you're going to be hitting the top bar when you hop off the bike. I'll tell you that right now. I'm at 30.5 to 31 inches, something like that. And I touched the top of that top tube. when I hop off. So really, it's not designed for anyone that has an inseam less than that. 32 would be even better. If you had a 32-inch inseam, that would be better. But you could do it at 31. Anything less, nah, don't do it. And I think this is why maybe this model hasn't sold as well as the step-through design. Step-throughs in general are becoming more popular. Yeah. I actually sent an email back to a person who asked me about knee replacement things and also looking to buy an e-bike. If he watches this video, he'll know who he is. And I mentioned to him, I says, you know, we used to call the step-through designs the girls' bikes, right? We don't do that anymore. No, almost everyone's buying a step-through design now. Guys are buying it. All of the designs that I have coming in, I always tell the companies, if you have an option between the two, send me the step-through, okay? And for two reasons. First off, it's easier for me too, but it is also more popular, I think. Yeah. Times have changed, man. There's no such thing as a boy's bike anymore. So why do they have these step-over designs? There are a lot of people who want step-over designs. They're used to it. It's more rigid, I'll tell you that. It is a stronger frame, no doubt. But do you notice it when you're riding the step-through? I don't think you notice it that much. I mean, unless you're doing crazy stuff, if you're doing jumps and all that kind of stuff, that's going to be an issue for you. Then you're going to want the step-over design. But you're just like doing what I'm doing right now. You're just riding around. Do you really need the step-over design? I don't think so. So why do I want to keep this one? Yeah, because I like the bike. Step through, step over, it doesn't matter. I like the bike. I have to swing my leg over it. It's really windy here, by the way, in case you hear any winds coming through on the microphone. You probably won't hear it that bad, but you'll hear a little bit. No, I like the bike. I think it's very responsive, and I just like it. So I figured, why sell it? Yeah. Now, a couple things. I've been throttling the entire time. This is the first time out with the bike in quite a while, you know, because, you know, the whole winter we haven't been riding it. So I've noticed that a lot of the bikes, because the batteries haven't been exercised, right? They kind of been dormant for all this time. Yeah, I had 100% on here. I'm down to 76% already. I didn't go that far. But the throttle eats it, of course. I'm not going to go that far today. I just decided to take the bike out just to ride a little bit. And yeah, I think you have to exercise the batteries when you first start out again. It's got to go a little bit, and then I think they start to hold a little bit longer after a while. So now I have other batteries for this bike, as you know. I've taken this as far as the Botanic Garden ride, which is like 60. I think it's like 64 miles for me. 64 miles, but I took like 2 additional batteries. And people have asked me, how do you do that? And what I did is I bought, I'll try to put a photo up here for you too. I put 2 batteries, 2 extra batteries inside a toolbox that I bought that will fit it. Then I strapped that thing to the rear rack. Now that adds a lot of weight to the bike. It makes it harder to swing your leg over it because I tilt my bike down a little bit when I get on and off the bike, and it really adds a lot of extra weight. It probably adds at least 20-something pounds more to the weight of the bike. So when you tilt it, I mean, it's hard to keep it up because it's so heavy. I think if I'm gonna do stuff like that, strapping extra batteries onto the rear racks, a step-through design would be a better choice to do than the step-over design. Stop here. But that's how you do it. You know, if your bike doesn't come with multiple batteries, you just strap it onto the rear rack. I didn't use bungee cords. Too bouncy. I got these, I don't know what they call it. Are they called lashing straps? I'm not sure what they call them. So that you strap it on and it just like tightens down, right? So yeah, I went to Menard's hardware store to get those. I get put 2 of them on there and strap it down. So yeah, now I should have brought extra batteries with me, so then I could have probably gone farther, but yeah, it's no big deal. I'm just going a short distance right now, not going to go that far. I may do the same thing I did the last time I took a bike out. Go down and then take that one road I was coming back on. Yeah, I took that one road coming back on, and cars were behind me. They were behind me, and I was only doing 20 miles an hour because the bike was only set up to throttle to 20 miles an hour, and I wasn't feeling like pedaling. So I held up like 3 cars behind me doing 20 miles an hour. I'm sure they hated me. I don't care. Hey, they couldn't pass me because they had a double yellow line. Double yellow line, you can't pass people, right? So they waited until they got a single yellow line, then they all passed me. Now this bike, I can go a little bit quicker on because I've unlocked it to 28 miles per hour, as you know. And so it's not that hard for me to go a little bit quicker there if I wanted to. Well, I was going to even give the guy behind me a chance to pass me, but he didn't do it. So now I got to get in front of him again because I got these cars in front of me, or this truck's in front of me. Let's turn here. So, you know, if you don't turn or pass me when I give you the chance, I got to come back in again. You know, no option. Either that or he was watching me, one of the two. I've noticed sometimes that cars will follow me or, you know, do something because they want to see what you're doing on your bike because they're marveling at your bike. It's a nice looking bike. You know, first off, when I first got this bike, this color, I said to myself, no way, they gave me this, I can't believe it. I wasn't into color at the time. I thought people our age probably all want like black or white or gray bikes. No, we all like color. I got to learn to like the colors. Kind of like this green color too because it really stands it out. Now the one thing I forgot to put on when I left the house, I didn't put on my safety vest. Now you might say, well, you got a neon green bike, do you really need the safety vest? Yeah, you need it. People can see that neon green if they look at you on the side. They can't see it from your back. So as far as people following me is concerned, all they see is I've got a black sweatshirt on. So I tend to blend in with the backgrounds. So it's not good. So really, yeah, you should be wearing your safety vest. But yeah, I totally forgot. I had it in mind to put on, and then I put on my my camera and everything strapped onto myself, and then I just walked out the door. I didn't even think about it again. All right, let's stop here. I hear a little bit of squeal because this bike has been sitting in the garage all winter long, and so you know, anytime you have things out in things like the garage or whatever, you tend to I don't know what it is. It just tends to have a better chance of squealing after you're done, after the whole season's over with. All right, let's stop here. Make sure there's nobody there. Let's turn here. All right, we're gonna have to try to make this light now. Yeah, I think we'll make it. So anyway, if you're looking for a full-sized, full suspension, front and rear suspension bike with a step-over design, look at this Magicycle Deer 26-inch step-over model. All right. Now, I'm not talking the Deer 26-inch 2.0 version. 2.0 version is going to cost you a lot more money. And that's why I'm saying look at this one. As long as they still have them available, take a look at this one. The only thing you really miss out on is you're going to get a cadence sensor only bike versus a torque and cadence sensor version. Now supposedly the other bike has a more powerful motor. I don't know if it really does that much more, really. Because I had the Magicycle Deer 20-inch 2.0 version, and I don't notice it that much different than this bike in terms of power. So if it is more powerful, then okay, well, but I don't notice it that much. So if you look at price-wise, I think it's going to be very hard to beat at $16.99. Yeah, take a look at other brands' offerings. See if they offer you a full suspension bike and everything at this price range. 20 amp hour battery, you know, it's going to be really hard to beat at this point. So yeah, granted, it's an older model. How long have I had this? I think I've had this for 2 years now, right? Perfectly fine. I don't see any problems with it. The new version will look just like this. The only basic difference is supposedly a bigger motor on there, and torque and cadence sensor option. Really, I think that's really all the big differences between the two models. But the price difference is a huge difference. I don't remember what they have it for. I think the other one is what, $24.99, something like that, versus $16.99. Look at that price difference. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't hurt to look at a model that's maybe a year or two older. I don't think anyone could tell. I mean, if I put this right next to the other bike, I don't think you could tell the difference. I mean, you'd have to know that it has these features, but other than that, you'd never know the difference. All right, so go do that. Now, if you decide to get it, do me the favor and click on the affiliate link first before you go to the Magicycle site. Okay, use my link to get there. And if they still take any of my coupon codes, try that too. Because if they take it, then you get an even greater discount. Some of them were giving $100 to $200 discount codes for me. So as long as they take it, great, even better. If they don't take it, it's still $16.99, still a great deal. But do me the favor and use the affiliate link. That's all I'm saying. Many of you guys have done that. I appreciate it because I see it. I do see it when I check the affiliate links that they give me to check, and I see that, you know, a number of you guys have bought Magicycle bikes again this year. So thank you. All right, where are we at? 56% down now. Yeah, I think it's not exercising the battery. It takes several rides to get it to where it feels more comfortable accepting the charge, and then, you know, depleting it and accepting the charge, going back and forth. I don't know which brand it was, but I remember seeing something that said you need to go through several cycles with the battery. I can't remember which website I saw that on. That you'll get better range out of your battery over several more times of usage. I totally forget which company mentioned that, but I think they're correct. You do have to work it a little bit. Now this has cruise control too. So right now I'm cruising. Where am I at? 22.6 miles per hour. I'm cruise controlling it. All you have to do is push down on the throttle. Well, in this case, it would be a twist throttle. I have the accessory thing that I have a 3D printed twist throttle. A lot of people have asked me about that. I'll talk about that in a second. Twist it for about 8 seconds or so and hold it in that position, and it'll lock it in that position. Now, okay, here's the one thing that the new version will do. The new version, you can turn on and turn off the cruise control. If you don't want cruise control at all, you can go into the settings and shut it down altogether. Okay, this one you can't. So if you hold it for 8 seconds or so, it's going to go right into cruise control. But to cancel cruise control, all you do is either tap the brakes or start pedaling. If you start pedaling, it cancels the cruise control. I'm not talking back pedaling, okay? I'm talking forward pedaling. You start pedaling, it'll cancel out your cruise control. Now sometimes too, like I didn't hold this for 8 seconds. If you start up hard on it, you know, just all the way down, it'll assume you want full power, and it'll go straight into cruise control, 8 seconds or not. It's just going to go straight to cruise control and give you full power, which is what it's doing right now. So I'm eating up my battery even more now, down to 50%. It's okay, I'm not going far. I'm just enjoying the ride. Yeah, the thing is, this bike is really powerful. It's got a lot of power to it, climbs hills well, it has a good acceleration. If you unlock it to 28 miles per hour, you can go pretty quickly on it, you know. Hard to beat, telling you. So do I endorse the 2.0 version? Sure, yeah. If you want, you know, if you have to have it, yeah, get it. But I'm just saying, in comparison, for the price difference, it's kind of hard to pass on the older version. That's all I'm saying. It's very hard to pass on it based on its pricing. $16.99. That's the last time I saw it this morning, unless it changes by tomorrow. Who knows? All right, what else is going on here? Let's take a left-hand turn here. Put my arm out for left, let them know I'm turning. Yeah, wear a helmet. I always yell at you guys if you wear a helmet. Wear a helmet, yeah. Don't forget that. Really important. I know a lot of people don't wear helmets, but please wear a helmet, okay? Stay safe. Wear a helmet. Wear some gloves. I always say that too. Yeah, if you fall, you don't want to be skinning the palm of your hands, because you're going to instinctively put your hands out. Wear some gloves. Get some half gloves, you know, like these biker gloves. They're not expensive. I don't know what they cost. What do they cost? $10? I have no idea. I can't remember. Yeah, go to the russisright.com website. It'll redirect you to russisright.blogspot.com. There's a post on there. It says accessories. Then you can see all of the accessories that I recommend, that I use or have used at one time. Yeah. All right. Where is this headed? Oh, we're going to hit a major street here. Well, that's okay. We can go on there for a short time. Yeah, okay. You can see the cross traffic, right? It's kind of hefty here. Let's stop here. Yeah, what I do is, because, you know, the top tube comes up way up high for me, what I end up doing is, when I hop off, I put the top tube not directly between my legs, but off to one side. That clears the you-know-where. It clears that area for me, so I'm not hitting the areas we don't want to hit. Let's go back on this way here so we can get off of this road. And we'll go back the way we came. Let's take a right. Yeah, just riding around, no big deal. Eventually we'll be going to farther places, but not yet. Especially now, since my battery's down to 47%. Can't go that much farther. Then I've got to charge them up again, of course. I have a couple of these batteries for this. Like I said, I have 2 additional batteries. These batteries also fit the Ocelot Pros. Ocelot Pro. You know, the thing with Magicycle, let me complain a little bit about Magicycle, okay? The naming confuses a lot of people. I mean, if you look at their website, you'll find Ocelot Pro, the Ocelot Pro 2.0. I mean, when you got 3 models still available, And the only difference is whether the word Pro is on it or a 2.0 is added to the Pro or not. It confuses people, and you may order the wrong one, see? Same thing with the Deer. You got the Deer, and then you got the Deer 2.0. Then you got the Deer 20 and the Deer 20 2.0. I don't think they have any more Deer 20s, but I think they still have the 2.0 there. Well, the 2.0 looks like 20, doesn't it? And you could make the mistake. It's very easy to make a mistake on their site, so be very careful when you place the order that you're ordering the one that you want. Just because it looks like a deal, go, how come this is such a better deal? Look closer to make sure you haven't gotten the older model or the less capable model. The Ocelot is different than the Ocelot Pro. Ocelot Pro has a stronger motor on it. Might have some other stuff too, compared to the Ocelot. So you don't want to make the mistake, is what I'm saying. Be very careful when you place the orders. I don't know if anyone's ever made the mistake, but don't get confused, all right? I will go forward. Let the bus go first. The only problem with following a bus is they got such a huge exhaust thing. Take a look at the fender of that bus. Got a big circular opening there. That's the exhaust. It's right at your face. Don't want to be there. All right. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to mention to you is that buying a year or two model year older could be your best bet right now because pricing. And there's nothing wrong with a model or 2 year older. Yeah, I just went home, changed out the batteries, put on a safety vest, and went back out again. It's so windy. Well, I mean, you might not be able to tell it, but you know, when wind blows up against you, you can't hear. It's just like all you hear is a howling of wind going over your ears. You almost have to angle your head a little bit so the wind doesn't blow up like it does, and then you can hear. So a lot of times when I'm talking to you, I don't even hear. I don't even hear what I'm trying to say to you. I took out the battery, another battery for this bike, just to give that a little exercise too. It's the same thing. I mean, really, if you think about it, turn this stuff off here. So much stuff here. All right. If you think about it, the batteries have to be exercised. I mean, if you don't exercise the batteries, you're not going to get the range out of the batteries that you want. So being that this is the first time I'm using the batteries for this season, it's dropping quickly, yeah. I haven't gone that far, a mile or two maybe, something like that. I'm down to 93% already. How did I get down to 93% in only a mile or two? How did that happen? Yeah, I think all of my spare batteries, I need to exercise them. I need to exercise them before I can rely on them to take me for long distance rides. Because I'm still hoping to do at least 1 or 2 long distance rides this year. I always try to do at least one in a year. I can't count on it if the batteries don't keep me going for far distance. You know, the thing is though, if you pedal, you're going to get more range. But I'm throttling this whole time, and the reason I'm throttling is because I'm trying to exercise the battery more so than myself. Let's turn here. So the way to do that is use the battery, and the way to use the battery is throttle it. That'll eat up the battery. Yeah, now it's down to 89. I think too, a lot of times when the batteries are under load, meaning when you're actually using it, it'll show you a reading of a certain amount, and then when you let up on the usage, like you let up on the throttle, just sit for a while, you'll see that the battery percentages will go up, right? or even if you're looking at it not in percentage mode, but you're looking at it the actual voltage mode, you'll see it'll go up. Yeah, you have to know how to interpret that. The alternative is if you don't want to know how to interpret it, is just find out how much range you typically get on your batteries and don't exceed that range, or you're not going to make it home, right? So anyways, right now I'm wearing an orange vest. I have yellow vests and orange vests. I think the yellow vest of the green bike doesn't look quite right. It looks like it's off. So I put an orange vest on instead. I actually bought the orange vest when I had yellow bikes. I had a yellow, what did I have that was yellow? I think it was it the Ocelot Pro? Maybe it was a Deer 20. Maybe it was the original Deer 20, I think. Yeah, I think it was the original Deer 20 was yellow. And then I had a yellow bike from Engwe as well. I think that was the E26. So I said, you know, the yellow with the yellow vest, they're not the same exact yellow. They don't look right. That's when I bought an orange vest. All right, let's go on this street. This is a more major street, but I don't worry as much when I'm on something like the Deer, or I'm on something like the wired bike, something like that. I can compete a little bit. I mean, this only does 28 miles an hour. These other guys are going to go 40, but still, I feel better at 28 on a 40 mile an hour zone than 20. All right. Yeah, the brakes need to be exercised in more. It was the same day, you know, I took this bike out on one of the other videos, but it's the same day. I just swapped out the batteries, that's all. All right, we're cruise controlling here, doing 29.8 miles an hour. Yeah, people still pass you. No big deal. It's a double lane. If it was a single lane, it'd be another story, but it's a double lane. It's fine. It's fine. No problem. Yeah, see how fast these guys go? You got to compete a little bit, right? Yeah, it's kind of nice to be out. I really miss being out. I mean, the whole winter, come on. Stuck inside the whole winter, terrible. Gotta get out. Gotta get out, get some wind. Wind hitting you in the face. All right, let's turn here. Nice, relaxed street. Yeah, you know, you go up and down the streets, you look at the houses, see what people are doing, see if anyone's out doing their lawn, see what everyone's up to. Well, if I look at the trees now, trees are starting to get some leaves. Yeah, I would say just even a week ago, you couldn't even see the leaves. It's starting to happen. Things are starting to look back the way that I like to see it. Yeah, wintertime here, yeah, everything browns out. Leaves are all gone, so the trees looks really stark. Grass looks browned out. Everything looks like it's dying, right? Don't like that. Let me know in the comments if you've been out yet. And if you haven't been out yet, what's taking you so long? Okay, sometimes the weather's not cooperative, I know. Some of our weathers don't quite match what we need it to be. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you're out and about. Which bike are you riding? You know, some of you guys have more than one bike. I know that because you guys have told me that. You started out with one bike and then bought another, then bought another. Some of you guys bought another. Yeah, some of you guys have really gone all out. turning into me. I have a lot of bikes in the house. Where do you store all these things? Let me know. Do you, let's turn. We've turned and they don't have to worry about me. Do you leave it in the garage? Do you put it in a shed? Do you bring it in the house? Do you bring it up some flights of stairs? That would be tough, but I know some of you guys might. How do you deal with it? Where do you put your bike? Tell me about your charging habits too. Do you charge it on the bike or off the bike? Do you leave the batteries on the bike or do you take it off? What do you do? What's your habits? I'll say this, if you're gonna charge it at all, charge it where you're around. Don't just charge it and leave. That's the most dangerous thing you can do. You have no control if the thing starts on fire and you have no one's gonna call for help. You know, don't do that. Be around when you charge, that's the main thing. Unplug it when it gets to the green light. Don't trust the charger, okay? Because I know some people will say, well, my charger will automatically shut off or whatever. Yeah, don't trust it. When it comes to charging, don't trust anything. I don't know, we were recently talking about something like that. Maybe it was at church, I'm not sure. That a lot of times, I don't trust a lot of stuff. I'm more cautious of everything. Oh, here's that Fiero again, white and yellow Fiero. Yeah, you don't see a Pontiac Fiero in a long time anymore. I mean, when did that car come out? Let me know when the car came out. Somebody Google it. Tell me when it did. That's an old car, I think. When was that? 70s or 80s? When was that thing? Still around. That guy still has one. Interesting. All right. We're zipping along here. It's down to 77%. I think this one is, they are cutting into this street here. Can't do that. I better let this truck go first though. Now I'm gonna pick up his fumes. That was him, not me, if you heard that. Let's go up here. Get off of that street, man. Yeah, if they're gonna resurface the street, you don't want to be on it because you know, they rip off the top layer and then it's all bumpy and everything. Yeah, for that type of thing, having a fat tire bike is an advantage at that point. Commuter style bike, thinner tires, not so good on something like that where they're ripping up all that stuff. Let's go this way. Yeah, people are out in shorts and t-shirts and yeah, see, I do stop at stop signs, told you. Don't want to get killed. Gonna have to stop sometimes. Sometimes nobody's around. Yeah, I just go right through. Okay, let's take a left out of here. Take a left over here. Follow the police car. That's 2 cars ahead of us. You can always tell a police car. First off, I know the police cars because I know the area police. I know their cars. Other times, very hard to tell, right? Many law enforcement cars are now SUVs. Kind of makes sense, I think. Yep. But there are vehicles that are unmarked where you can't really tell, but I can still tell. I can still tell. Somebody has sold their house over here. All right, let's take a right over here. Take a look at the neighborhoods. Hey, this house is interesting on the left. Look at this one. Engwe here. It's totally different color compared to everybody else's house. It's kind of that rust color. Is that rust color? I don't know what you would call that color. Rust? Yeah, I like looking around the neighborhoods. I want to see what people are up to, what their houses look like, what projects they're working on. There was a lady over there, she was painting the fence. Yeah. The next thing she wants to do is wax on and wax off. Paint the fence up and down, you know. Now, you might remember I had to have the fence painted, our fence, and I hired a kid. Remember that? That was a couple years ago. Hired a kid to paint our fence. And I told him, I said, and, you know, if you take this job, you cannot quit on me. If you quit on me, I'm forced to do it, and I can't do it. I made him promise that he would not quit no matter what. He would have to finish it. He finished it, yeah. We gave him several raises because we found out how hard it was that he was working, and it was, what we should have done was should have primed the fence first. We didn't. We just bought paint and said, paint this thing. It was sucking up all the paint. And he says, this thing is not not looking good because it's sucking it up, so we'd have to put another coat on. So he was there for weeks upon weeks to do it. So my original quote to him was $200 to paint 3 sides of the fence. One side we didn't have to paint. It was one of the neighbors liked it old and rustic looking, so we left it. But the other sides we had to paint it. And so I looked at how long it was taking him and felt sorry for him. I says, okay, we're going to raise your price to $400. He says, oh, thank you so much. Then I looked at him, I says, we're going to raise your price to $600. Oh, thank you very much. Then I looked at him, I says, we're going to raise your price to $800. I think if I had a professional painter, it would have been done faster and it would have been cheaper. Hey, we gave the kid a job, okay? He made some money. It was good for him for the summer. He had another job too, so we would let him off to go do his regular job, come back and paint the fence. So he put a couple hours here, and then he'd go off to his regular job, put a couple hours there. It took him a long time to finish it, but the kid finished it. He held to his word. Of course, he was getting paid for it. Yep, that was an interesting thing. Yeah, it looks good though. All right, where are we at? Oh, we're still at 74. See, this battery's holding better than the other battery did. Yeah, I think what I'll do, and I won't keep you the whole time, I'm gonna run this thing to about 50%, and then I'll charge it back up. Yeah, do a couple times like that. I think it'll be primed up and ready to go for longer distance rides. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.